Hi, everybody. It is the first Saturday of the month. Welcome to the first Saturday, usually, support group from the Caring Generation, and I am Pamela Wilson. Wanted to say hello on the video. I'm going to start the slide presentation. So today we're talking about specifically everything you want to know about being a caregiver and making life-changing decisions. I'm down here just so that you know I haven't totally disappeared. We're going to advance our slides here. The benefits of caregiving support, I just want to go over this really quickly. If you have not joined me before, many caregivers and aging adults who are struggling with health issues can benefit from support. Many have no idea where to go or where to turn to. If you haven't met me before, I have worked in the field of caregiving for over 20 years in a number of roles. I have been court-appointed guardian, medical and financial power of attorney, personal rep of the estate, a trustee, and a care manager, which means that I have been responsible for all aspects of life of my clients. I was also a family caregiver. Over 20 years ago, I lost both of my parents, a brother, and a sister. The benefits of online caregiving support are so many for caregivers. We find solutions to common caregiving questions, which we are here today to do that. We come together with other caregivers who understand there is such a benefit to being with another person who is experiencing similar life concerns, life transitions, and who you can share information with. That is just invaluable. The other benefits of caregiving support groups are to gain confidence in decision making and in skills, and just to learn from others, especially experts like myself. Going to see if we can advance this slide. We may be having some slow internet issues today. Let me see what I can do. So while I'm talking about advancing this slide, I'm going to stop it for a second and come on here and see if I can start the slide presentation again. We're talking about making life-changing decisions today. And so many caregivers have to make life-changing decisions for loved ones. Participating in webinars like this or in online support groups can be extremely helpful. You can access them anytime, so this will be available after this live broadcast, like many of my other videos. So I do videos on Facebook. My page is PamelaDWilson.page. There are videos on my YouTube channel and also on my Roku TV channel. I also do a radio program on Wednesday night. It's called The Caring Generation. And in this slide, you will see a link. You can join me. There are so many options for caregiving support on my website, which is PamelaDWilson.com. In these webinars, my radio program, my library, my courses, and my support groups. So let's talk about making life-changing decisions. Becoming a caregiver is usually unexpected. We don't plan for it. It happens because an aging parent has a health issue, a heart attack, a hip fracture, something all of a sudden happens and we become a caregiver. That becoming a caregiver extends into all areas of our life. It affects our work life. It affects the care that we provide to our own families, our health, our well-being, and the well-being of our aging parents. As the health of our aging parents progresses, we have to make decisions. And it really could be anything from, does mom or dad see this particular doctor, take this particular medication, do they need a little bit of help around the house, how do we do that? But over time, those decisions progress to be more serious and have more consequences. So today I want to talk about 3 life-changing decisions and think about what you would do. These are probably not decisions that you have to make today, but they are decisions that you may have to make at some point in the future, or you may know a friend or a family member who has to make these decisions. The first one is what I talk about, kidney disease and dialysis. Adults who have kidney disease that progresses to a very serious point where their kidneys cannot clear all the waste from the body have a choice of going on dialysis. If you don't know what dialysis means, in very simple terms, it is going to a dialysis center to be placed on a machine that cleans the kidneys out and cleans all the waste out of the body. The degree of the kidney disease corresponds with the frequency and the length of the dialysis. I have had clients early on who went to dialysis 1 day a week. I've had clients who have had advanced kidney disease who went to dialysis 5 days a week for several hours a day. This is really a family decision. It's a decision and a discussion that you and your doctor should have. And going on dialysis can feel like it's limiting and life disruptive because once you start dialysis, you have to continue. If you don't continue and your kidney disease is very serious, the likelihood of you dying because of your kidneys being unable to process all the waste from the body is high. So it really is a decision between, I have very serious kidney disease, I want to live, I will go on dialysis, or I have very serious kidney disease, I'm not going to choose to go on dialysis and I will choose to pass away. Those are the options. It is a life-changing decision. The next life-changing decision that we'll talk about is a diagnosis of Alzheimer's or dementia that progresses to a point where an individual needs what I call cueing or prompting or reminders. Many individuals with Alzheimer's early on can function quite well. They may need simple reminders like, oh, it's time to eat, or here's your medications, take them. As the disease progresses, persons with Alzheimer's or dementia fail to be able to perform daily activities that we all take for granted. So for example, picking up this glass and doing this, taking a drink and swallowing, is something that you or I would do very easily. A person with Alzheimer's may be thirsty, but they may forget to pick up the glass, to drink and swallow. That can also happen with eating. They may forget to eat and may need reminders for that. The other important thing with eating is, as Alzheimer's progresses, it is possible for a person to forget how to pick up a fork and put it to the mouth, so to feed one's self. The question posed then is, let's say that you are the person with Alzheimer's, you have a living will, and in your living will you said, oh, I do not want any life-saving measures. But you never thought that you would get Alzheimer's or dementia. A life-saving measure could be considered having someone else feed you. So you cannot pick up a fork and do this, but someone else can feed you and you can eat and be fine and live for a very long time. Your family may be arguing over your living will, especially if at that point you can't give your opinion and say, yes, I do want to be fed, I do want to live, or no, to me that is a life-sustaining measure. If I can't feed myself, I don't want to eat, I would rather pass away. Again, life-changing decisions, decisions also that can be very traumatic for the family to have to make that decision for a loved one if it wasn't spelled out in a living will. If you don't have your powers of attorney, medical, financial, your living will, yet your will, I highly encourage you to do it. We all think that we have so much time to make these decisions, that nothing is ever going to happen to us, but we don't realize that an accident could happen tomorrow. We could all be involved in a car accident, some other type of accident where we need that type of help and support. Let's talk about the third life-changing decision today, and this also relates to Alzheimer's and dementia, or a serious injury where you have swallowing or choking concerns, to the degree that you try to eat, you try to drink, you cough, you choke, you aspirate food into your lungs. This is very common with a person who has advanced Alzheimer's disease. What happens with that aspiration or breathing food or liquids into the lungs is that pneumonia occurs. And when pneumonia occurs, many times you either have to go to the hospital emergency room, intensive care, you take antibiotics. But the problem is, if you have choking or swallowing problems, every time you eat and drink, you're aspirating foods. So you have a choice of continuing to swallow, chew, aspirate, have pneumonia, go to the hospital. Sometimes your lungs have to be suctioned. It's traumatic. Or you can accept a feeding tube, which is a tube placed into your stomach where liquids and food, mostly liquid foods, can be placed so that you can have enough nutrition to continue to live. This is another decision that can be put into a living will, and it's important because it is an invasive procedure. It does take a lot of care if you have a loved one at home and you are the person who administers the food through the feeding tube. It's not difficult, you just have to be careful. I have done it for clients. Or if your loved one is in a care community, mostly only nursing homes will do feeding tubes because it does take some time and attention. The question to ask yourself is, would I want my life prolonged, and how, and for how long? So under what circumstances would I want a feeding tube? Under what circumstances would I want the feeding tube removed and to have my life end? These are all life-changing decisions that can come up in care situations and discussions that you should have with your family when you are doing your medical power of attorney, your financial power of attorney, and your living will. Under what circumstances would you want your life extended? Under what circumstances would you want special treatment? Aging parents want to stay at home. You probably already know that. If you're a caregiver, you probably are helping your aging parents stay at home. There is help on this subject on my website under PamelaDWilson.com, How I Help. There is a stay-at-home course. You can also visit this link. It's DignityClarityStability.com, which will tell you about my online stay-at-home course. My online groups, I have other online groups. I have groups on Facebook, which is the Caregiving Trap for consumers, for family caregivers, or if you're a professional caregiver like a CNA or a nurse, you can join my professional group, which is the Caregiving Collaborative. Go to my Facebook page. It's Pamela D. Wilson page, PamelaDWilson.page. Go to groups and you can join. The monthly support group is here every month, and again, there's always a replay of this. I know it's difficult sometimes to make groups live. Again, my website is PamelaDWilson.com. If you access television through Roku, you can look for my Caregiving TV channel. There are plenty of other helpful videos there. You can join me every Wednesday night to listen to the Caring Generation radio program. In this slide over here, there's a link to the radio program. On that page, you will find information about future programs listed and also past programs and podcasts that you can listen to and share. We are ending this group today. Places where you can join me. Again, these are the links to the stay-at-home course on my website and to the Power of Attorney course on my website. I hope to see you in a Facebook group, in a course, on my Facebook page, in my Facebook groups, here next month on my Roku TV channel, or listening to the Caring Generation. Hope you have a fabulous day today. I will see you tomorrow in another video on Facebook and hopefully here next month. Have a great day.